The two men that were cooking are bearded devils, spiked, barbed beards coming through as they both grab their glaives out from under the cart. You see out from the top of the carts, the red-headed man and the woman burst out the top, flying out into the sky, their wings coming out. The two ogres joining in as Aslathan breaks through his cart and steps out from it, revealing himself as a bone devil. And they all begin to attack the heroes.
Goblin, hide.
And bring me another grog.
Goblin, prepare the drinks.
You don't see Goblin at all. He's hiding under the counter, but you see two grogs just slowly slide up onto it.
Time for help.
And combat begins with Cliff.
I'm gonna hit bearded devil, the closest one, with a mind sliver. Haha!
Ah, he fails. And then he has to subtract 1d4 from his next saving throw. He will hop over the counter and begin making his way. And runs up to Samanari and attacks once with his glaive, successfully hitting, dealing 8 slashing damage, and then I need a con save from Samanari.
Ooh.
Damn.
And he inflicts an infernal wound upon Salmonari. Then he attacks with his beard, which also hits, dealing 4 piercing damage, and I need another Constitution save throw. The poison does not affect you, Salmonari. Incubus, now in the air, flies over to get closer. The ogre just stomps about, getting closer. And we go to Allegor.
I'm going to take my sickle into my hand and cast elemental weapon.
Okay, and which element do you choose?
Fire.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think I'm done.
Okay. And the succubus also fly over in the air, ending her turn. Summoner, you see all of these devils getting closer to you. One directly in front of you.
So I am going to hex the bearded devil right in front of me. And I will hit him all 3 times with Eldritch Blast. And since I am a crossbow master, not at disadvantage.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
First beam.
Misses.
Second beam.
Hits.
Third beam.
Also hits.
And I will risk the attack of opportunity to step back.
And as you step back, he does make the attack of opportunity as his beard arches out trying to stab at you. But he misses.
All right, and that is it for Silmanori's turn.
This bearded devil follows suit as his brother and has enough movement to close in on Allegor and makes its attacks. First with its beard, which does hit with 23, dealing 8 piercing damage. And I'll need a Constitution saving throw or be poisoned. You fail that, so you are poisoned. Then he makes an attack with his glaive, which also hits with an 18, dealing 12 slashing damage. And I need another Constitution saving throw from you, Allegor.
Need more luck.
There you go. You are not afflicted with an infernal wound. Goblin continues to cower beneath the...
Come on, Goblin.
Not much of a fighter, that one. The ogre moves closer to help its allies. We start back round 2 with Cliff.
A little bit of distance. And let's give Allegor a hand by hitting that bearded devil with a mind sliver again.
It fails, so it takes the 11 damage. It is looking worse for wear.
That'll be my turn.
It has a foe in front of it, so this bearded devil continues attacking, even though it's on its last legs. And Allegor makes a beard attack, which misses. Allegor steps out of the way, and ducks underneath of its glaive as it swings it too high. Incubus, still in the air, is about 20 feet off the ground, flies in and gets closer. Ogre moves closer to you as well, as does the Bone Devil. Allegor, you can see the two devils in front of you, and then more getting closer and closer.
I'm going to take a swing with my sickle against the bearded devil that's injured.
And go ahead and roll that attack. You are poisoned, so at disadvantage. Okay. With an 8, you do miss.
Take a step back.
All right. And as you step back away, one of the bearded devils does make an attack of opportunity with its beard, and it does hit you. It deals 4 piercing damage. And since it's the end of your turn, you can make another Constitution save throw to end the poison effect against you. You are still poisoned then.
No luck today.
All right. And then the succubus uses her action to dash and fly off over here. And she ends her turn. So, Minari, a multitude of choices in front of you.
I am going to stay right where I'm at. I actually take a step back, and I'm going to pop a shot at that bearded devil right here, the one that I had hit, the one that's hexed.
Okay.
Ooh, a nat 20.
Which
16 damage.
Eviscerates it as it splatters back onto the face of the Bone Devil.
So I'll step over here, and I'm now going to target this bearded devil. Use my other 2.
Both hit.
Dealing 29 damage, and I will use my bonus action to move my hex from this bearded devil over to this incubus. And then I will take a step back again. And that will end Sominori's turn.
This bearded devil continues its pursuit at the nearest enemy, which is Allegor still. Attacks with its beard first. It does hit with its beard, dealing 8 damage, and once with its glaive. So just the 8. And that will end its turn. Goblin still just cowers. And we go to Cliff. So Allegor has been hit a few times in front of you. You can see they're not too injured, but not doing the best. So Minari has stepped back behind you. 1 devil has been felled. More are in front of you than before. What does this wizard have up his sleeves?
I'm going to scooch over a little bit, about 5 feet to my left, and I'm going to use one of my staff's properties, the lightning strike. So, using an action to cast a bolt of lightning, 5 feet wide and 120 feet long, straight for that bone devil, and I'm only going to hit one of the ogres, right?
Yes, but I will say you also, just shooting it kind of in a diagonal line, also get the bearded devil in front of you as well, but not hitting Allegor.
Okay. They have to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And they take 96 lightning or half.
All right. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's definitely going to be a fail. There we go. All 3 fail. Kills the bearded devil. The incubus flies over and sits upon the lantern structure right here. Flies over and slowly sits down onto it. And then looks over at Cliff. Cliff looks over as he sits down. And as their eyes catch, the fiend tries to charm him. The incubus's eyes flash a shade of purple. You are charmed by the handsome incubus Helio. Ogre begins moving across the bridge. The Bone Devil, as he was just shot by lightning, begins to run over. As he runs, he comes about this far. You can hear his feet slamming on the ground. As he gets to here, he jumps quickly. The wings on his back flitter as he soars over the building and lands on the other side next to Cliff. as he did not appreciate being shot by lightning, and makes 2 claw attacks, both connecting to the wizard. And then its tail swings around and he tries to sting Cliff.
Shield.
You cast Shield as a reaction. It stops his stinger from connecting, but the first 2 did hit, dealing 14 damage. Allegor, no enemies directly in front of you, but an enemy to your left, to your right, and you can see 2 ogres charging across the bridge.
Not the best situation to be in. Am I able to use Cure Wounds on Cliff?
Yes, Cure Wounds requires touch, though you may need it more than Cliff does.
Oh, I can cast it on myself?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm going to want to go ahead and do that then.
Well, that's 36. You did only need 27. You healed yourself back up to full.
Okay, I'm going to step back behind Cliff.
All right, and the succubus flies around and lands on the side post, swings her legs over and faces toward Summonari and says, I hope you remembered me.
Shadow
as her
armor.
eyes flash purple to charm Summonari. Since you're not making an attack,
Oh, gotcha.
I'll just say you didn't use it. But you notice as her eyes flash purple, the gems on your necklace light up as well, and you automatically fail the save throw.
You shouldn't
you
have
are
put on the
charmed.
hippie necklace.
See?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Summonari, you can't attack her.
Then I'm going to use this turn to use that medicine check, even though I take the 5 damage. Cool, 19.
You patch the wound.
And I will use 3 of my d6s from my healing light on myself as a bonus action. That'll end Somanari's turn.
Goplin peeks his head over the counter and sees the Bone Devil standing directly next to his cart and just immediately darts back down. You can see the cart itself actually shaking as he's touching the wall. Ogres moving closer. Cliff.
What do we got here?
A sticky situation.
We're gonna slap the Bone Devil with the quarterstaff.
You miss with the quarterstaff.
As a bonus action, cast Misty Step
Where are you going?
onto the bridge. And end my turn.
The incubus flies close to you, landing directly in front of you. He comes close, grabs you, and does a draining kiss. And then I need a con save from Cliff.
Yes.
You succeed, only taking 16 damage. As he shoves you away. Now you can make wisdom save. You are not charmed by the incubus anymore. Ogre moves, drawing ever closer to you all. The Bone Devil, not seeing Cliff in front of it anymore, targets Allegor, the first one it sees, swiping once with a claw and twice with a claw. Only the first connecting, dealing 11 slashing damage, as its tail comes around behind Allegor and tries to stab. But Allegor dodges out of the way. How do you retaliate?
Well, I still have my sickle in my hand, so I want to try and hit it again. Oh, right. I was supposed to roll disadvantage, right?
Yes, but it missed anyway. And there you go. You
Yeah.
crit. Roll me it one more time.
Yeah, give me
If
one
it
second.
hits, then I'm just going to take the crit. It did hit either way. We'll still take the crit as, you rolled it twice now. You deal 12 damage to the Bone Devil.
Excellent. I am going to take that opportunity to back up again.
As you run away from the Bone Devil, it does use its reaction to make a claw attack, which hits. As you run away, its claw slashes your back, dealing 20 slashing damage.
Allegor, your cervical spine is sticking out. You might want to just tuck that back in.
And we did forget about your elemental weapon. So, extra 1d4. Your fire was not effective against the Bone Devil. You'll see that with most devils. They kind of like fire.
A little bit.
If you ever want to go down and tour around Avernus, I don't recommend it. The succubus jumps off of the side ledge and runs over to Silmanari and jumps to embrace. She kisses Silmanari with a draining kiss.
Ooh.
You succeed, only taking 16 damage from it. She scoffs at your rejection to her. And as you try to pull away from the charm, the amulet around your neck continues to glow, and you are still charmed. Silmanari?
I'll go ahead and use a free action to tear away the amulet and toss it.
Okay. So you rip off the amulet, but its effects have still kept you charmed.
So I'll go ahead and immediately cast Eldritch Blast at the incubus right in front of me. Text.
Okay.
1,
by Cliff.
2,
16.
3 blasts. And I will use 2 more d6s to heal myself for 5.
All right. As from atop the stairs, you can all see it. His Goblin is crouched down, exiting the back of his cart, casually just trying to walk away. And none of the devils see him. Just casually sneaking away out the back. All right, Cliff. The incubus in front of you has taken a substantial amount of damage, as has the ogre down the way. The succubus in front of Silmanari looks perfectly fine. Bone Devil has a little bit of damage, but you can also see the ogres are closing in as well, feeling a little claustrophobic.
I'm going to go ahead and maybe a little bit of overkill, but I'm going to go ahead and cast Chain Lightning, and I can do that at 3. 3 bolts will actually emit from me. And I think it's 150 feet. Let's see.
Yeah, 150 feet.
Power!
The Bone Devil succeeds, takes half damage. The ogre fails. Incubus succeeds, and incubus and succubus are exactly the same, so I'm just going to do it twice. Also succeeds. Also notice the lightning does little to the incubus and succubus. The ogre flat out just burns to a crispy, disgusting smell. While on the bottom of the steps, the Bone Devil succeeded, taking half. But you dealt a lot of damage all around.
And that's going to end my turn.
The incubus, having been dealt a lot of damage, you breaking its charm. You see it in front of you. It just waves at you. And as at the end of its wave, it fades away. Ogre runs to the bottom of the stairs. The Bone Devil approaches the 2 Silmanari and Allegor, making 1 claw attack at Silmanari.
Shadow armor at disadvantage.
It misses. And then second claw attack to Allegor, which hits, dealing 7 damage. And then its sting, which Allegor dodges out of the way of. I think its tail has become useless at this point.
It's intimidating.
Allegor. Yeah. It just intimidates to see that high damage on the attack.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take this opportunity to use Healing Hands.
Okay. That instantly heals you 11. And then if you don't want to do anything else, you can also do a con save to end the poison condition at the end of your turn. All right, you are still poisoned.
This is my life now.
The succubus, with Luminari still being charmed by her, goes in for a second kiss. Maybe he'll like this one. Which he does. She uses a little tongue and deals 32 psychic damage.
I believe that I'm actually resistant to psychic damage.
Oh.
Yes, draconic resistance. You have resistance to psychic damage, so both of those I actually have resistance to. There we go.
Though your hit point maximum is reduced by the 16.
Okay.
For this one. And then that also means that you can make a save against...
1.
You're still charmed by the succubus. You enjoyed the tongue.
Making out with the bad guys.
Silmanari.
All
You
right,
flirt,
I am
you.
going to move my hex. So I'll go ahead and bonus action hex the Bone Devil. So I'll re-roll it,
Better.
and I will go ahead and hit Eldritch Blast against the Bone Devil.
The first misses, but the last two do hit.
I will go ahead and stay where I'm at.
Goblin continues to try to sneak off. So for those that can't see my stealth rolls real quick, he is nat 20'd both times. No one knows Goblin exists right now. Except for you. You can see him.
Goplin does
But no,
not
no.
know that Goplin exists.
Yes. He is a figment of everyone's imagination. He's just walking away doing this the whole
Secretly John Cena.
time. Not much of a secret now.
Mhm.
Sheesh. Alright, well, at the top of initiative, the devils are continuing their push against you to stop you from interfering with their master, wherever he may be. Cliff, you have a bone devil attacking at Silmanori, and Allegor, a succubus behind Silmanori, and then an ogre still rushing at you, trying to get as close as it can. What do you do?
Let's see. Got some options here. Has the succubus taken any damage?
You can tell she's a little wounded.
Let's go ahead and hit her with Toll the Dead.
And she takes the full 24 necrotic.
I'm going to move back about half of my movement speed.
And the ogre continues its charge at Cliff, getting within range to attack. It swings its great club at our wizard, dealing 20 bludgeoning damage, and at least cracking a rib.
Yeah, just wind comes out.
Alright, and we go to the Bone Devil, which has its attention split and makes 2 claw attacks at Allegor. The first one hitting, dealing 10 slashing damage, and then its sting goes to Silmanari. It misses. Its stinger stabs into the stairs next to you. You stomp on its tail after you dodge it and deal 5 bludgeoning damage. Alright, Allegor.
So I would like to call my companion into the fight.
As the party and the devils notice this pounding on the ground, as you see from behind the trees, Allegor's trusty beast, her owl bear, rushes through the brush.
I am going to move my owlbear within range of the Bone Devil and speak and claw.
Both attacks miss, but the Bone Devil definitely feels the pressure from the owl bear bearing down behind it.
I'm going to take a swing at the Bone Devil with my two-handed sickle.
And that does hit, dealing 3 damage to the Bone Devil, as it does have resistance to non-magical attacks. And we go to the succubus, still attacking at Silmanari, her lover. She makes a draining kiss at him. Since you ripped the necklace off, you are no longer charmed.
Hey, look at that.
So we go to Silmanari.
Well, I might be attacking the Lady Devil who's attacking me. Let's go ahead and hit her with all 3 beams of me Eldritch Blast.
The first and the second hit. And we're starting back at the top with Cliff. Ogre in your face.
Let's go ahead and hit him with my quarterstaff. Let me go ahead and use one of my charges for my staff. Let me go ahead and apply the extra 2d6 lightning damage.
So you deal 8 bludgeoning damage and 9 lightning damage.
And as a bonus action, I am going to Misty Step behind the ogre. And then I'll kind of go behind the owlbear.
And as you Misty Step there and then begin running away, you find your footing, turn around behind the owlbear, and you see a little pebble bounce off your chest. And you look up to see where it came from, and you see Pim just laughing atop the roof.
I'm going to mock her laugh. Make a face.
The ogre continues its pursuit, walks over the corpse of its brethren. Chasing Cliff, it swings its great club.
Since that ran by me, can I give it an attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use it. This is your
Melee
reaction.
attack or?
Yeah. All right, so you deal 11 damage to the ogre.
And because it has a magical property, I'll expel 1 charge. And the target must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or have disadvantage for 1 hour on any ability check or saving throw that uses Strength or Constitution.
It now has disadvantage on strength and con save. It feels your quarterstaff hit it in the back leg, but its focus is on Cliff. It continues to charge forward and swings its great club again, which does hit our wizard's shield as you hear the thud of the club bang against the magical barrier. And then we go to Le Bone Devil. It turns its attention toward the owlbear that swung at it and deals its claw attacks to the owlbear, both hitting, dealing 19 damage. While it's turned, it makes a sting attack still at Solminari. The 15 did hit, and the poison damage does not go off of the save throw, so it does deal 37 damage and requires a DC 14 con save. And you succeed, so you are not poisoned. All right, Allegor.
I'm gonna have my owlbear attack the bone devil again.
Both hitting, though it does have resistance and is looking a little worse for wear.
And then I'm gonna hit it once more myself.
Dealing 2 damage, chipping away at the bone devil.
I'm gonna have my owlbear move a little bit. And then be done from there.
All right, Solminari, the succubus, you have broken its charm on you and done heavy damage.
It kills me.
It actually retreats, going back to the ethereal plane. To the succubus, you are not worth it.
Well, I guess I shall try and survive this fight.
And look at that face. It's probably not the first time a lady's ran from you.
Let's go ahead and let's just launch our Eldritch Blast at the Bone Devil.
And I was talking about the Dragonborn. I wasn't insulting my player, thank you.
He totally was, but don't worry. All you need to be attractive is a beard.
And the Bone Devil, you do hit. You did move your hex to the Bone Devil.
Ooh.
So it takes 29 damage from the 2 Eldritch Blasts that hit.
And I'll go ahead and pop 5 of me dice. Healing me for a whole 13. Yay.
Well, you have started bleeding less. All right, Cliff. Ogre still up in your face with his big club.
Let's not really take any chances here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a magic missile at level 3.
15 damage to the ogre. Still lives and loves the smell of the cologne you put on this morning. Well, you didn't move far from the ogre, and the ogre didn't like those magic missiles, so it swingeth its club, which with the 27 connects, dealing 17 bludgeoning damage. Actually resetting one of those ribs. Finishes its turn. The Bone Devil attacks at the owlbear with its claws, both of which hit. The owlbear is a little hurt. And then it stings at Solminari again.
Throw my shadow armor. It is made at disadvantage.
Stinging at disadvantage. And it hits where it thought you were, which is not where you actually were. Allegor, the Bone Devil is missing quite a few of its bones.
I'm going to attack it with the sickle one more time myself.
That actually does not hit. It just slides off of the Bone Devil's hard exterior.
I'm going to do it again.
And that does hit, dealing 2 damage against its resistance. It does still live.
I'm going to have the owl take another stab.
That does 4 damage to the Bone Devil, which is just clinging on to life.
Let's see how long he can cling.
Well, the first blast shatters the Bone Devil. His bones go flying everywhere. You redirect the second toward the ogre, dealing 8 force damage to the ogre as well.
And I shall move me third one over to him as well.
Which shaves off some of Cliff's beard, but just half.
It might look better this way.
I like trim.
Line slipper.
The ogre's eyes start to bleed as it falls over toward Cliff, who just steps out of the way, and the ogre slams hard onto the ground in front of him, ending all of the devils. And after the ogre falls, Cliff feels another pebble bounce off of his chest. He hears off in the distance.
Or why the little troll keeps giggling.
Friends, I'm hurt.
I am as well.
You each have 2 greater health potions and 2 normal potions.
Greater's 44 plus.
4.
I'm going to pop one of those and pop a regular one.
Which is 2d4 plus 2.
And I shall do the same. I'm going to summon my familiar. An invisible imp, of course.
It's almost like I know you.
That would have really come in handy the last fight.
You see the temple, and you see Pim continues to throw pebbles at Cliff.
Can I take my quarterstaff and hold it like a baseball bat and try to hit one of the pebbles back at Pim?
Roll a quarterstaff attack at normal.
Strike one.
You swing at the pebble and do a full 360. You miss the pebble. And then when you finally settle back down, you look up at Pim, and she's just calling you over with her finger. Pim stands up, her short little legs peek out from her kimono. She brushes it off. Let me show you. As she goes to the edge of the roof and hops down, begins to walk away to the west. Come, if you want to see the master.
I guess we're off to see the wizard.
Are we able to loot any of the carriages? Maybe see if we can find more items of value.
Pim turns around quickly. You will not disrespect the master. Come now.
Let's see how long I can go without disrespecting this master.
Am I to cast Find Traps before we proceed any further?
Pim begins to hear you cast the spell. Do not worry, this is not a trick. I will take you to the sir.
As they've proven very trustworthy so far.
No.
We would not want to spoil his dinner. You've shown me that you will be quite a meal for him. She's slowly walking with a little cane, but her feet are moving like twice as fast as it should be for the amount of space she's moving.
Just get this over with so I can deal with you later.
Honey, you couldn't handle me.
Dibs on eating Pim after this is over.
If there's anything left.
I will never object.
She's
I'll cook
slowly
her.
just walking down the ramp.
I'm quite the chef, Salmonari. I'll make sure she's properly seasoned for you.
And you see as you walk down the ramp, there's a path leading off to the west. You can see far off the land breaks off, and there is roots from multiple trees on different islands that connect this part of land to the next. And 2 large statues of Kappa demons.
So we're crossing like a bridge, basically. Looks
Yes.
like a pretty far fall.
You cannot see the bottom.
I'd say that's pretty far.
And Pim is just walking on the roots. Well, aren't you coming?
I'll let the 2 of you take the lead.
How gracious.
I vote that the owlbear takes the lead. Just a thought.
Thing the size of a car.
My poor companion.
The owlbear looks at you, cowards, and just walks across the roots. Perfectly fine. The roots are sturdy.
I vote
do
the
not
end
budge.
to take the lead.
The imp is across already. And as she gets to the middle of the next island, you see her little knees kind of bend, crouching down. And then she leaps and ends up atop the building. While up there, she takes her cane, smacks the roof a couple times. Sohan, Uhan, I've brought you dinner.